Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. I am the Inconsequential Runner, and we have Coach Mark with us again today. Hello, Coach Mark.
Hello, Darcy. Good to see you.
Ah, good to catch up. And I enjoy catching up because every time we do, I've got a question for you, and we want your expertise to help us with the answer. So thank you for being here and helping us make running easier and more fun, which is what these videos are all about. So anyone who's new here, welcome. Thanks for joining us. With Coach Mark, we ask just one question per video. Generally, sometimes we might squeeze in a second, but usually one question per video. So you know exactly what the video is about, and you can decide whether you want to listen to it or not. And the question today is, should everyone do some speed training? And when we think about the percentage of people, and it's going to be quite high. I don't have any data. I'm thinking about 90% of people at least, they run for the sake of running. They enjoy it. They might go to the odd park run as well and treat that as a race. But outside of that, should they be doing some speed training, given that 90% of people run just for the enjoyment of running, as opposed to have a real competitive element to it? So for that 90%, and let me put an asterisk next to that. I don't know what the data is, but it is a huge proportion of the running fraternity. Coach Mark, for that 90%, should they be joining the other 10% and be doing some form of speed training? What do you think, Coach Mark?
I think definitely. I think everyone should do
Everyone,
some form of
100%.
sport.
Okay.
Everyone.
Why?
Um, so people are worried there.
Yeah, some people are freaking
So,
out now, so you need to come back with a compelling why. And
yeah,
I
of
know, Coach
course, of
Mark, I
course.
know anything you suggest, there's science and evidence behind it. So yeah, why,
Yeah,
Coach Mark?
yeah. I tell you what, even before we get to the science, the science of it,
Okay.
um, you think, well, when we all first started running, it was basically it was sprinting around, wasn't it? Sprinting around
Yeah.
the playground. It hugely drew, and even nowadays you see at picnics and that people playing softball or cricket or tennis, frisbee, and people are kind of running. They're not just jogging around, are they?
No, good.
It's
Yeah.
where it's that gives
More
us
speed
that
fluctuations.
gives us that kind of endorphin rush, really,
Yeah.
doesn't it? That running fun.
Yeah, it's a fair call.
So just sort of getting that. So I mean, it's not. I'm not suggesting something that's going to be unpleasurable. Put it that way. And also, the other thing I should say is that when I say speed work, I don't mean Usain Bolt sprinting all the time. For the first thing, that would everyone would be injured
Right.
with pulled hamstrings or whatever if you're not used to doing that. What I'm saying is that we all can benefit from doing some running that's a little bit quicker than our normal pace,
Quicker than our
and that
normal
can
pace.
that could
Okay.
be anything really. So we'll you think of someone, as you say, many of us out there who just go out for an easy run a few times a week, and you have a set pace and you have a set style you run it, and that's all fine. Um, I'm saying if you just did a little bit of running at a faster pace, a slightly faster pace, you'll improve your technique, your running technique. You'll also make your normal easy pace seem easier when you go back to it. You'll become multi-paced effectively, and that's going to benefit you in all sorts of ways. It's going to benefit you on your easy run. Um, you'll be running with more efficiency, so that in itself will help stave off things like injuries. You'll move across the ground quicker with less effort. So that's got to be good. I don't think anyone would turn that down. Whether you're non-competitive or you aim to run 100k ultras, um, you'll still benefit from something.
Okay.
And it
So
doesn't have to be much.
okay, so let's really tease that out, and I'll use
Mm,
some examples, and it helps me, and it might help some people watching to help sort of
yeah.
quantify it a bit. So, if we pick someone who ran 7-minute kilometers. And that's what they did in training, 7-minute kilometers. And when it came to parkrun, they'd knock it out in about
Yeah.
25 minutes. So they can run 5-minute Ks, 5Ks in parkrun.
Yeah.
So there's their range. 7-minute kilometers is the easy
Mm.
run, 5-minute Ks is them up tempo. What are they going to be doing then for the speed work? And say they run about 20 to 30 kilometers a week, sort of thing, maybe up to 40 kilometers some weeks, but usually 20 to 30 kilometers a week. What are we talking for them for their speed work?
Well, so they'd want to do something initially, not much quicker than 5K pace, just a little bit quicker than that. So then that it's not risky effectively, but it's useful because they're going to be running at a pace, quicker than they used to. So say for example, you say 7-minute Ks, 5-minute Ks. It could be, it was 4.5-minute Ks.
Yep. Okay.
The key is that you don't want to be forcing anything. But I would say if someone can run 5K at 5-minute Ks, then they can run for a few seconds comfortably quicker than 5-minute Ks. Because there's no endurance factor with it.
Okay. So are you saying they're running at 4.5-minute Ks for about how long? Are you saying like a 10-second block or a little bit longer?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, a really good way to fit some speed training into your week without overly fatiguing you or overly taking away from your normal training, and something you can fit into a just any run is just running little bursts of 10 seconds or less, because it's a great scientific fact that we can exercise hard for 10 seconds and we don't need oxygen for it. So
okay.
Normally if you run hard, say if you ran hard for a minute, at the end of that you're blowing quite hard because you're having to run without oxygen for part of it, and you get all the side effects of lactic acid, right, burning lungs, burning legs, etc. And of course you can't, if you're not used to that, you can't handle a lot of that. It's going to take a while to recover from. If you're very fit, that's no problem, and you're used to doing speed work and you've got a lot of endurance behind you, that's fine. You can handle that. But even someone who's very fit can if they can include a session where they're doing just 10-second repetitions. So you run 10-second repetitions with full recoveries. At the end of it, it still feels like an easy run. It doesn't take anything out of you, and as long as you're not forcing anything, you find your speed just gradually gets quicker throughout the 10-second reps. So you might do 10 of these 10-second reps with a 2-minute just easy running or jogging or whatever in between. So what's that? That's only a bit over 20 minutes, isn't it? Yeah. You have easy running either side. You could have a 30-minute run and do that. Hasn't taken anything out of you. You've been working on your technique. You go back to running easy again, you're going to be that much more efficient. So you do that over a few weeks, you're really going to notice benefits.
Right. So the speed will drive a better technique, which will drive efficiency, which means you can run then with this type of training, you can run a little bit faster for a little bit longer than you did before. Is that basically it in a nutshell? Or?
That's right. That's exactly right. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
that's it.
Everyone wants to improve their parkrun times.
Yeah. Well, it's an easy way to do it. So, and you can include this. You can actually do it structured around a field, or you can just do it on a run. It's the old thing, people used to talk about lamppost sprints.
Yeah.
You used to get rugby players did this always at the start of the season, and they'd do a run, and then they'd use a lamppost, and they'd run a bit harder for a lamppost, and then go easy for a few lampposts.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, that had a scientific sort of backing behind
Oh,
that. They probably weren't aware of that. The
yeah.
lamppost is about 10 seconds.
Yeah. Oh, perfect.
Yeah, yeah, but I mean, I think if anyone just included a little bit of that into their week, if all they want to do is easy running, it's fine. But you do a session of that, just without pushing anything. So you're not forcing anything.
Yep.
You're just running. Your first couple of it might not be a lot quicker than your normal pace if that's what you're used to.
Yep.
But I guarantee, over time you'll just get a little bit quicker. That'll translate to longer distances like the park run and all that.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay. So maybe a couple of times a week, doing some speed sessions, you're tagging them onto your easy runs. You're not forcing anything. You're just going to click faster than your normal, say, race pace for 4 or 5K. So if it's 5-minute Ks, you're looking at 4:30. So just to click up, just for 10 seconds at a time. You might do some multiples of them, might be 5, might be 10, won't exhaust you if you're sensible about it. And then what that will do is it'll improve your technique, your ability to endure speed, so the efficiency that comes out of that, and that means the speed that you're able to hold on to now for your 5K park run should go up a click or two with this sort of training.
That's it. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Now, I know it's different for everybody. So the best way, and I'm talking to those now watching this video, the best way is to follow what a coach does or what they provide you on a personal level. So, of course, Coach Mark, I'll throw your details in the show notes in the comments as well. So if you do want to reach out to Coach Mark, and if you've got any questions, or of course have Coach Mark be your coach, his details are in the notes. So feel free to reach out. Coach Mark, anything else you want to share with us and the team before we wrap this one up? That was really cool. That's motivated me to go out and do some speed work, even though I've done a run today. It's so easy to just put it on the end of an easy run. I won't. I'll follow the plan. I'll take it easy. But it's so good to know that, speed work doesn't mean going down to the track and doing 10 by 400 meters, and that includes like a 20-minute warm up and a 20-minute warm down, and then your body can be brutalized for days after before your muscles come right. So it's thanks for this new angle in terms of speed work and how we can inject a bit of speed into our training, get the benefits from it, but without draining.
That's right, and for runners that are a bit more experienced, it might be they're following a sort of a periodized program of a season, for example, and it's a perfect thing to put into your sort of off season where you're just building up your aerobic endurance base again, sort of maybe after a layoff. Having 1 to 2 of those runs, including some short stride outs, is just going to kickstart your speed and technique without taking away from building your endurance. Because you only go for 10 seconds at a time. So beneficial thing to put into an easy run.
Yeah. Perfect. Coach Mark, thank you so much for sharing that with us. And we'll catch up with you in the next one. Take care.
Good one, Darcy. Cheers.
See you, mate.